Well, welcome everyone. Glad you're here for the information session. I think I have to stay somewhat put so that people can see me at the other side here. So I'll kind of stand behind all the screens, and maybe we can lower them down just a little bit so you can see me and I can see you. My name is Linda Herrick, and I serve as the Associate Dean for the undergraduate program here. And I have my agenda that we get. So what I'd like to do, though, is welcome you first, and glad you're here to hear a little bit about our programs. A lot of our undergraduate programs are located here on the Brookings campus, but we actually have in nursing, we have 3 sites. And so we have our Rapid City campus, our West River campus, and Patrick and the ladies are out there, and I think you'll hear from them a little bit, at least a couple of them. And we have the Brookings campus, which you're sitting here, so I assume you know a little bit about our Brookings campus. And then we also have, on our Sioux Falls campus, we have a standard program, but with, as Dean Farnwell says, with a bit of a twist, where we start in the cohort in January, and they go spring, summer, fall, spring, and then summer again, and graduate in August. So they're done in about, about 20 months. And they go straight through. They look a little tired at the end of that. But they do go straight through. Then we have 2 accelerated programs, what we call our accelerated programs, and that in those programs, those students usually come in with a bachelor's degree from another major, and they go through all 5 semesters in 12 months, and it's extremely intense. And there are a few weeks out of that year that they're actually working or going to school or doing clinicals almost 6 days a week or 5 days a week, and some of those include some Saturdays. There are times that we do make some exceptions, so in case you've heard the rumor mill out there that, you know, once in a while somebody from one of the campuses ends up in an accelerated program, we do make exceptions once in a while. If we have open slots, our goal is really to make sure that as many students who are qualified are able to take advantage of all the slots we have across the state, and it's a lot. So our idea is that we want to match students with our sites and make sure that all our seats are full at the end of every application session. You may have heard rumors out there that if you select, I came from another university a couple years ago where the rumor was if you picked this campus you got in sooner or it was easier to get in. That's not necessarily the case here. So when you choose a campus, make sure it's the campus you want. Because for a lot of reasons, we're not able to transfer you back and forth between campuses real easily. So if you choose Rapid City, you need to stay there. If you choose Brookings, you'll need to stay here. If you choose Sioux Falls, you'll need to stay there. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One is that our classes are capped because of our clinical agencies. We only have so much room. And if we end up, you probably know, or you may not know, in our clinicals, when we take students to clinicals, to acute care clinicals, there is a state law that mandates no more than 1 to 8, 1 faculty member to 8 students. So if we end up with extra students here, then I have to get permission from the agency to take an extra student along, and I have to get permission from the Board of Nursing to take an extra student to a clinical section. So needless to say, we do that on rare occasions, where somebody's been out with an illness and comes back in once in a while, some of those types of things. But we don't want to set people up we don't want to set that up that way. So site transfer request, unless it is a critical situation, typically those are not fulfilled. It's not because we don't want people moving, but our hands are tied for a lot of other reasons. Any questions about overview of the program? That's sort of the dry and, did I miss anything?
Numbers spots at each site.
We usually accept 64 students here at the Brookings site, 48 at the Rapid City site, and 40 at the Sioux Falls site. And then in both of our accelerated programs, we have one in Aberdeen that admits in January and one in Sioux Falls that admits in August at this point, and we have both of those capped at about 40 because of clinical slots. So with that, I will turn it over to, I think it's Patrick and the students there to talk a little bit about the Rapid City site and their decisions to attend there. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Patrick Fink. I'm the Student Services Coordinator here in Rapid City and the Academic Advisor to pre-nursing students. So my role here in Brookings is similar to that of Megan or Danica's or Laura's, where my role is to get students in and out of the program in a timely fashion. I'm joined here by some student ambassadors with mixed backgrounds, some who started here in Rapid City and they finishing here in Rapid City, and then some students that started on main campus and are finishing here in Rapid City. So I'll go ahead and turn it over to them, who would like to go first and kind of give us just the background, your name, what semester you are in the program, and a little bit about you and why you chose and like Rapid.
So I guess I'm going first. My name is Shannon Kerwald. I'm a 5th semester student. I started in Brookings and I did the application process there, but I got into Rapid City, and at first I wasn't too hype on that, but it was the best decision of my life. I've noticed that the class sizes are a lot smaller. The teachers know you by name. You have them one semester and they're going to know you till 5th semester. They know your name, what semester you're in, and everything like that. I really like that the clinicals for Rapid City are in one hospital. You only have to travel 5 minutes if you live in town. The hospital is a great teaching hospital. There's a lot of activities. We have student ambassadors and SNA, Student Nurses Association, that do a lot of stuff like that, or events for students. I really enjoy being out here, and I'm glad that that's the decision I made.
Abby?
I'm Abby. I came to Rapid City following my husband. He went to School of Mines. So I just came out here with him basically when I was finished with school. I decided to attend this university because I don't know, I've really found a passion for nursing and for medical field and being able to teach others about it too. Like Shannon said, there's the SNA group and the student ambassadors here. Rapid City is a really great place to grow up and grow.
They'll come back in.
Are you guys still there?
Okay, I think,
So-
yeah, that was weird. I don't know what happened there, but...
Sioux Falls came in.
Oh,
Nobody's there, but
Okay.
Sioux Falls joined us. That's what happened.
okay, fair enough. Sorry that it cut you off.
Where did it cut off? I don't
Yeah.
know where it cut me off.
Rapid
talking
City is
about-
a great place
Yeah, Rapid City. Being a great
to
place
live
to
and grow a family.
I guess Rapid City is a great place to grow a family like myself. There's a lot of activities for kids to do out here if you do have a family or not. There's a lot of places you can go hiking, and there's swimming and tennis courts all over. You can do a lot of activities here in Rapid City.
Lacey?
My name is Lacey. I'm a 3rd semester student. I also started in Brookings and got transferred out here, and I was not too excited because I love being involved on campus. I was in the Hobo Day committee and got transferred out here, and I was kind of worried that I wasn't going to be able to get involved, but I got hooked up with ambassadors, and then there's also SNA to get involved in, but then there's also tons of other things throughout the community that you can get involved in through the Y or through anything like that. Teachers are pretty amazing here. Like Shannon said, they will remember you from 1st semester to 5th semester. even if you're not the greatest sometimes. I don't know what else.
What's your favorite thing about Rapid City?
My favorite thing about Rapid City? Well, I'd never been to Rapid City until I came out here last January for nursing school, so it was a huge difference. It's a lot warmer here in Brookings, so I definitely like that better. But my favorite thing to do is probably hike, because it's so nice out here all the time. Well, most of the time. But, yeah.
Guess that leaves me. My name is Leah. I'm a third semester student as well. I came here from North Dakota, actually. I just moved down here and started working. I didn't know what I wanted to do. But then I decided that I wanted to go into nursing, and it was really nice that SDSU has a program here in Rapid City, because I got to stay here with my family and still go to a really good school. I guess I've always been one for small, like, universities and campuses. I like that feeling, because you do, like they both said, you do get to know all of your instructors really well through first and fifth, and then you'll see them in the hallway and they'll talk to you and check up on you, and it's really nice, and they know you by name. And it's also really easy to get a hold of them. That's another thing that I really like about it, is they're right here on campus, and they're just one floor up, so it's really nice. And Rapid City is really cool too. I don't know, I like it. It's got a nice fun downtown for the weekend. Got the Y, and it's really close to the hills, so it's not too far of a drive if you like to go hiking. I don't know, I like it a lot.
Speaking of the small campus, we're in one building, so we don't have to walk from one class to the other side of campus in 10 minutes. Usually every semester has a classroom, so you get to stay and the teachers come to you, which is nice. And if you have to talk to a teacher, you can just run upstairs instead of having to go to their office across campus. So I found that coming from Brookings, I mean, having to walk from Rotunda D all the way to Egg Hall was no fun, but now I'm able to just walk up some stairs and find who I need to talk to. And the ladies in the office are really helpful. I mean, they can direct you to where you need to go. So it's a loving place, and I like it.
To piggyback off of that, I think one of the also excellent points to consider about Rapid City is that our clinical rotations predominantly are Rapid City Regional Hospital, which is only 2 miles away from our location. And we have what's called a dedicated education unit for SDSU. Right now it's only SDSU, even though that facility is utilized by a lot of different nursing programs. We expect that to be changing here next year, but right now that's SDSU's claim to fame. And what's really unique about that situation is that instead of pairing up a whole group to a floor, a group is paired up to a nurse. And so you're actually seeing more patient care, different cases of patient care than you would have been, say, before, when you're just assigned to a floor. So that's a really great opportunity. And those nurses that are hired on that unit, they have to be dedicated to the education of nursing students, and they're hired with that understanding in that unit that they're going to be working with nursing students. So they have to have some sort of passion for it. A lot of them end up coming from our program, which is great. I think that's a great way to connect with our alumni. So that's something that we really appreciate, because 2 miles away from our site is predominantly most of your clinical rotations. Now, we also have other rotations, different clinics here in Rapid City, as well as the reservations that do surround the Black Hills in western South Dakota. And we do have 2 VA hospitals here in the hills. So one at Fort Meade, which is only 25 miles from Rapid City. And then another in Hot Springs, South Dakota, which is south about 50 miles from us. So it's a pretty nice deal. I would, I think Dr. Herrick already touched on this. The program is 48 students a semester, so we accept 96 a year. And it's the exact same curriculum that you would see in Brookings, the same scheduling, even really the same syllabus. The only difference is whose name is on it for the instructor. And so we're talking about the same books, the same instruction. The biggest difference that we actually have in curriculum is we do offer an elective course in our 5th and final semester that Dr. Voss teaches. It's an NCLEX prep course, and Dr. Voss has written NCLEX exam questions. So she is very knowledgeable, and she's really great about test anxiety. She's actually a heart math instructor, certified individual, and our students, I think, benefit a lot from Dr. Voss and her expertise. So we're really happy about that. Scholarships. While it's true that the Jackrabbit Guarantee does not transfer out to extended campuses in Sioux Falls or Aberdeen or here in Rapid City, it is also true that last year we did give out over $68,000 in scholarships to our students here in Western South Dakota, and we expect that number to go up next year. A lot of that's due to great support from our alumni and our different education partners, such as the Vakurovich Foundation here in Rapid City, which is really dedicated to the education of nursing students. So we're really proud of that. That's a lot of money to divvy out with just this small population. So student organizations, I think, these young ladies touched on those quite a bit, so I appreciate that. There are also opportunities to get involved at School of Mines. I know, we have some international students that involve themselves in the International Student Affairs department there, so that's really wonderful for them. I see a lot of our students at the YMCA on a regular basis, which is really great because we actually have a really terrific Y, and it's only 3 or 4 blocks from where we're at, and it's got a lot to do there, a lot of community outreach, as well as the University Center. The University Center Rapid City is a terrific facility, and they have student organizations available for you to get involved with there. And then as far as resources, this is probably the biggest change for a lot of students that come from East River to West River. When you're on main campus, maybe you were coming from the residence life department and you were just you had a meal plan and your rent, if you will, was already taken care of because you lived in the dorms. That's a whole different situation when you come out here, because we don't have residential housing for students, but we do have a lot of partners, or we do reach out and try to notify students as much as we can of available places to live. The downtown area is a great opportunity. There are studio apartments down there that are reasonably priced, and they're really close to our campus location, as well as the hospital where most of your clinicals will be. But I find that students that are moving out from Brookings tend to network with each other, and then they find a roommate and they just kind of link up that way, which has probably been the most successful way to handle it. But I'm always going to be a huge proponent of Rapid City. I'm a Jackrabbit at heart, but Rapid City is just a terrific town year round. It's we've had 7 or 8 days in the last couple weeks over 70 degrees. The hiking has been amazing. So much for ski season, but I'll take hiking season over ski season right now. I jab at my partners there and my co-workers in Brookings every now and again when they ask how things are going. I'm like, well, our weather's good at least. Because and Rapid City's downtown is just wonderful. Main Street Square always has something going on. In the fall, spring, winter, summer, it doesn't matter. If you decide to stay throughout the summer, you can check out the summer concert series that happens downtown every Thursday night, where over 10,000 people come weekly to see live music being performed right on Main Street, which is really cool. And that carries over into fall festivals and stuff. So Rapid City is a really great community to be in, and I don't know, I'm always going to be the cheerleader for it. So I was kind of insulted when Brookings was named the best downtown by the 605 magazine, because I think our downtown's pretty amazing. So we were number 2.
Patrick, can you talk a little bit about, like, if students don't know about Rapid City, have never been there, like, the size compared to Brookings and Sioux Falls?
Oh, sure.
And, like, as far as shopping and dining and that kind of thing?
Oh, yeah.
The Target.
Yeah, I mean, like, apparently Lacey really likes the Target, so that's good. We actually have 2 malls here in Rapid City. Rapid City is, well, the town itself is only 70,000, but it serves a metro, if you will, of about 150,000 because of the outlying communities. And, you know, there's events happening at our Civic Center. Not to get too political, but Rapid City is hoping to pass a new Civic Center expansion, so I'm really hoping that that passes, where we're going to have an 18,000 seat facility for different concerts, which hopefully can just grow the entertainment for the city. But yeah, Rapid City has a lot of, I mean, of course we have chain restaurants, but everyone needs to like check out Tally's restaurant downtown in Rapid City because it's so good. You haven't gone yet?
I haven't either. Armadillo's is good.
Oh yeah.
We have a lot of really great restaurants downtown that are locally owned. And of course, yeah, Target, a couple Walmarts if you want to go stroll through those, I guess, that are 24 hours. I don't know, whatever college kids do. I don't hang out at Target. I do that, but
Personally, for me, I was really impressed with the shopping like ability out here from Brookings, having a couple stores, and then coming out here and you're in your apartment and you need a break from studying, you can go spend the rest of your day at the mall or Target or Shields. There's a lot of opportunity for that too. I mean, but honestly, I was really impressed with the dining too. I know there was some awesome in Brookings, but to be able to just jump over to Ruby Tuesdays or Olive Garden, to have those access, especially when people come to visit, it's really nice to have.
yeah. Any other questions about Rapid?
Can I say?
Yeah, go.
This is going back to the dedicated education unit. In 4th semester, one student is paired with one nurse, and you, as that student, you are in charge of the patient's care. So you get to experience, before you're even at, like, in your directed study or anything, you get 1 to 2 days of just being a nurse and seeing what it's like, and it really opens your eyes and helps you prepare for what you need to do better and what you are not as strong at. And then that class that Dr. Voss teaches, I'm taking it right now, and it is a little nerve-wracking right away, but to know that she helps write NCLEX questions, and it's all these questions based by NCLEX material and stuff, it just really helps you prepare. And she's always has her door open, and she's this instructor in 1st semester, so you're able to build that relationship right away. And she's a phenomenal instructor, and it's just great to have that opportunity to practice NCLEX questions before even, a couple months. I don't take it till May or June, so that's really nice to get that practice in.
Any other questions?
I have one.
Yes.
What do you guys do for housing? Do you guys have houses, or do you live in apartments? And how hard was it for you guys to find housing?
I live in an apartment, and it was really easy. There are countless apartment buildings. Most of them have pools in or outdoors or both. Like Patrick said, you can usually correspond with students in your class and find one easily, or there's houses around even this building that are rented to students. I have classmates that live a block away or a couple blocks, so it's really easy to walk to, so you don't have to pay. And well, another thing that we forgot to mention is parking you do not have to pay for. It is free parking on the street, so that's another little savings. And if you live right close to the school, you don't have to walk too far or pay for gas, so that's nice.
Yeah, our location, just so you're familiar, is actually in a residential area. We're in the historic district of Rapid City. And it's definitely true. There's a lot of homes here that might have like a rental unit in their basement. And so we have a bulletin board for our community to come post housing. I try to make sure that those opportunities get put on our Facebook page first. Like I go and just snap a picture of it so that everybody can see it in case if they're not physically here but moving here. But you know, I live in the West Boulevard area too. I only live a couple blocks away, and it seems like there's always a place up for rent. But did you want to add anything to that?
Well, I live in apartments, and they're like a half a block away from the hospital, so it's super nice. But I didn't know a single person coming out here for the nursing program until like I got accepted, and then you have to go meet with everyone to try on your scrubs and stuff. And that's when like you really connect with the people, because a lot of people from Brookings, like we didn't really know anyone, so we all kind of connected there. So like if you do get accepted out here and don't know a single person, like don't worry about it, because you all kind of have like the same like qualities, because you want to be nurses, so everyone's super friendly, so it's not hard.
Did you guys have anything?
How do they find your Facebook page?
Yeah, so if you just search SDSU West River Nursing, you should be able to find us directly that way.
Oh, well, I live in an apartment too, but kind of building off of what they said, there are a lot of apartments that offer like reasonably priced apartments, and a lot of them have a lot of amenities in them, which is nice because utilities can be kind of expensive. But I think, I mean, being a nurse, you kind of have to be kind of crafty and creative, and there's a lot of, if you're okay with, you know, renting a room, some people rent out their basement, and then even if you come out here and you find a place and you're not really feeling it, there's a lot of students in your class that will change housing too, so you can kind of grow relationships with them, and then there's a lot of houses for rent, and you guys can kind of just move into that too, and kind of helps with studying, especially if you're in the same class and you don't have to meet up for a study group. You can just study at your house. So I don't know, it's kind of fun. It's kind of like making your own little dorm.
I rent a house with my husband. We actually have a student from the School of Mines living in our basement, so he helps us out with rent, and I'm sure there's more people who do that around here too, so I guess I wouldn't be surprised if there's actually quite a bit of housing. You see signs up on this road out here, there's like 5 houses that are up for rent, so it's not going to be too hard to find a place.
The reason why rental properties are so hot, like in our neighborhood, is that financing a historic house in Rapid City, there's an ordinance where you have to pay cash. So that's why a lot of these homes go for rent, because people move away, and so they have to become landlords because they can't sell their home. But that's a huge reason, just as a little fun fact for you. That's why we have a lot of rental homes right by us. Any other questions?
So for Shannon and Lacey, who came from Brookings, can you talk a little bit about like what your biggest apprehensions were about going to Rapid, and how that all worked out for you?
I'm from northeastern South Dakota, and the majority of my family lives on that side of the state. I had problems with my vehicle multiple times, and my cousins lived in Brookings, so they just came and jumped it. Or if I wanted a home cooked meal, I could go down to Sioux Falls, so that was nice. But now my closest relative lives in Mitchell, so that's a little difficult. But coming out here really actually helped me grow, and I have learned so much more about myself, and I can take care of things better. I mean, in Brookings, I was kind of oh my goodness, my car won't start, somebody help me. Now I am able to jump a car and change a tire. I mean, I've I've had to learn how to do that on my own. So I've learned, you really learn who your true friends are from where you are, and you learn a lot about yourself. To be honest, Brookings is known for partying, obviously, and moving out to Rapid, I was able to get my mind on nursing school. There was no Rapid is a really nice town for kids or college kids. There's a lot of stuff to do, but it's not as party driven. So I would focus more. I was able to come out here and focus more on my schooling and not be distracted by things like that. But it was a scary transition, but I would never go back, to be honest. So that's what I have to say.
All right. I am 8 hours away from home right now, so that was probably the biggest thing for me, was being so far away from my family. But like Shannon, I grew, became more of a person myself, and I'm more independent, and I want adventure now. It made me grow to love adventure. But I made such good friends in Brookings as well, so it was really hard leaving everyone there. And I just love being involved around campus, and that's one of the main things. Was I was so worried of coming out here and just being stuck in nursing classes and not being able to do anything exciting because I didn't know anyone. But I got hooked up with all this stuff and made some awesome friends. So you just had to look at the bright side of things, because there's always that bright side.
Thank you.
That is a common sentiment that I hear from senior students who maybe were cautious of coming out to Rapid City from main campus. What Shannon just echoed, just that it forces them to grow up in a roundabout way. And what I really love seeing is when we graduate those students and they don't move away, that they make Rapid City their home, or if they move away, they didn't run back home, wherever home was, Iowa, Minnesota, Sioux Falls, whatever. They dared to go further. And, I think that says a lot about the opportunity that you have. So I like it. It's cool. It's cool to watch from my perspective.
I had my plan that I was going to graduate high school, go to Brookings, graduate from Brookings, live in Sioux Falls, and that was what was going to happen. And as a nurse, your plan isn't going to go the way you want to every day. You're going to have a plan at 8, and at 8:05 it's going to change. So having to come out here really helped me learn what is important in life, and that you're just going to have to roll with the punches. And now, I was going to live in Sioux Falls, and granted, Sioux Falls is a great place, and I kind of want to end up there, but now I'm going to venture and maybe experience Colorado or Arizona or something, just because I know that I can go away from home and be able to do it and survive, because I'm obviously alive. So, coming out here was one of the best decisions, although it was a difficult one, and at the time, wasn't happy about it. I'm very happy that I came out here, because the class sizes are smaller, the faculty know you. It's just awesome. Awesome.
What other questions? Do you guys have anything else that you wanted to ask, or things that you'd like to know? Things about Rapid City?
Well, thank you for listening to us ramble. We could talk about Rapid City all day. I could. I love Rapid.
How do I switch this?
Just switch to camera 2.
Camera 2. All right. So I'm just going to talk really quickly. My name is Megan Peterson. Most of you probably know who I am, but just a quick review of the eligibility requirements for those that, because we kind of have a mix probably in here, those who are applying this semester and those who are looking at applying again or applying for the first time in the fall. So the application will be posted online in August, and you'll get an email from your advisor to your JAX account letting you know that it's available. It'll be due by September 25th of 2015, and you'll find out by about mid-October if you've been admitted, and that will come to your JAX email. The letter will come by email, so that will come out about mid-October. Sometimes we get questions about If you list alternates on the application, so if Brookings is your first choice, but if you list Rapid City or Sioux Falls as a backup, that we're automatically just going to send you to Rapid City and not consider you for your first choice first, and that's not the case. So you'll always be considered for your first choice first. It's just that if you don't make the top 64 for Brookings and you are willing to go to Rapid City and there's space available, that you could be offered a spot there in Rapid. So don't be afraid to mark the other options as your alternates if you would seriously consider a spot there. Obviously, don't mark it thinking that that's going to make you look better or more flexible or anything. I've gotten that before too, that, well, if I put Rapid City, it'll make it look like I'm, really open to all these experiences, but I really only want to be in Brookings. So think carefully about that when you fill out the application. Please only send one application form. So when you apply, those of you who are applying in the fall, don't send an application to Brookings and Rapid City and Sioux Falls. That causes lots of confusion, so you just send one application form and mark your choices accordingly. Just a quick review too, all your prerequisites need to be completed or in progress in order to be fully eligible to apply to the program. You need a 2.7 pre-nursing and a 2.7 cumulative GPA to be considered. The cumulative will include all your post-secondary coursework, so all your transfer classes, anything that you've completed up until that point, so by the end of summer, whatever your GPA is at that time. And then your pre-nursing GPA is just based on those specific classes. So all your sciences, your 2 chemistries, anatomy, physiology, microbiology, psychology, sociology, lifespan, and nutrition. So just the grades in those specific classes. Both have to be at least a 2.7, but only the higher of the two will actually factor into your application score. So whichever one is better is what we use when we score your nursing application. Both have to be a 2.7 without rounding, but only the higher of the two will factor in. Honors courses do calculate a little bit differently too, so those of you who have taken some honors courses, those are calculated on a 5-point grade scale, and that's not anything that you need to calculate. We'll take care of that when we score the application. But if you got an A in an honors course, for example, that's going to be worth 5 grade points as opposed to 4. So that factors in a little bit differently, and that's taken care of once when we score those. You need a C or higher in all of those prerequisite classes, and keep in mind that there are limits to the number of D's and F's that you can get. At this point, there's no limits for the pre-nursing classes. The W's don't count against you or anything, but make sure that with those pre-nursing science classes, if you get a D or an F in 2 of those science lab courses, your chemistries, anatomy, phys, or micro, you won't be able to apply to the program for 5 years. And if you get a D or an F in the same pre-nursing class twice, which would be those science courses with the labs, plus psychology, sociology, lifespan, and nutrition, same deal, can't apply for 5 years. So we don't want you to jeopardize your chances of making application to the program. Make sure that if you are struggling with that at all, use the resources available, talk to your advisor. Those of you who did apply this semester and are still deciding if you're going to accept Brookings or Rapid City, just a reminder that the acceptance forms are due this Friday by 4 p.m. Up in Nursing Student Services. And yeah, just a reminder that the application then will be available in August for those applying in the fall. Yep.
Just a reminder too, some of you may be on the wait list for Brookings and considering whether you need to let me know by Thursday if you want to be considered for Rapid City. So your acceptance form won't need to be in by the 13th because that would just be a day. So if you're still deciding if you want to be considered off of the Brookings wait list for Rapid, you need to let me know by Thursday.
Questions? Any last things you guys need to know? Rumors that we can clear up for you? All right. I think that's it. Thanks for coming, everybody. Thanks, Rapid City.
Yes.